Hi there, my name is Suze. I'm a divine feminine energy healer and guide. Happy Saturday, or whenever you find this video, happy day to you. It is Saturday at the time that this video will be going and hitting YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. I feel the need to express gratitude again. I am so appreciative to those of you who've been with me and those of you who are dropping your comments below and letting me know how deeply my messages are resonating with you. I cannot express enough gratitude. It fills my heart with so much joy and clarity and validation for myself too, around my message and my journey, my healing journey, and everything that I have been through and worked through to get to this point, to share it with you all and to know that it is helping, impacting, and guiding you all. Thank you so much for being here. Please keep those comments coming and shoot me those emails. I know a few of you have been reaching out in email more privately. I thank you so much for taking the time and the energy to really reach out and let me know where you're at and ask questions. Ask questions. I will be doing some videos in the next few days to respond to some of the questions that have come up in email or on comments here. So I welcome questions or requests for things for me to talk about, things that you want me to explain a little bit more or expand on. Please let me know. I am here for you. I thank you so much, all of you who are doing this really deep. It can be very painful work. And I want to know you are seen, you are valued, you are making a difference. The more deeply you learn to see and know yourself, the more deeply you will be able to see and love other people as well. This is so much bigger than you and me. This is so much bigger. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for helping me build my community here. I am so appreciative to you all. So today, Saturday, generally on Saturdays, I like to talk about astrology. And so the message for today, I feel, is very aligned with the current astrology. I'm not going to break down why I'm saying this astrologically, but the astrology that is right now is very intense. I know a lot of you feel it. I've heard a lot of you, my friends, my inner circle of people, it's been really intense and really, really loud ever since Scorpio season. Ever since Scorpio season, it has been loud and intense. And for the remainder of this year, and I'm thinking probably even into probably around the end of January, we're in a season of a lot of things falling away. A lot of loss, if you want to look at it that way. A lot of letting things go. Either we're making the decision to let things go, or things are removing themselves from our existence of their own accord. People may be leaving our lives, situations, jobs, dynamics, whatever they may be making the decision to leave our lives. And so there's a lot shifting, a lot changing, a lot shifting. Maybe you internally are recognizing there's some energies or maybe some beliefs you need to let go of, or maybe there's some coping mechanism, which can be an addiction. And I use that term broadly, very broadly. A belief can be an addiction. A coping mechanism of any kind can be an addiction. Anything that is denying you access to your higher power of self, anything that is denying you your truth, your power, your highest, biggest potential, is an addiction and a coping mechanism. Impulsive behavior. What do you do impulsively to release maybe anxiety or release any kind of rushing overwhelm of energy? Is there an impulsive something you do that makes you temporarily feel better because you're releasing or moving that energy instead of sitting with the energy and working your way through it? That kind of makes me think of the video I did prior to this one for Feminine Friday. Never, never, never let anyone do this to you. And I was talking kind of about that, the rushing energy. Never, never, never let anyone do this to you. I highly recommend you go check that out for Feminine Friday yesterday. But back to today, the idea of loss or disappointment. There's a lot of loss and disappointment energy in the collective at this time. And like I said, I really believe it's going to continue through the end of this year and maybe even through to the end of January. There's a lot leaving, whether it's our own conscious choice or not. A lot of things are falling away, are leaving, are ending. Hang on one second, please. So, obviously, we tend to look at loss or disappointment as negative energies, and I am on this channel talking all about how we need to start looking at emotions in a very, very, very different way, and recognizing that negative emotions are just like any other emotion, and they are simply an opportunity, a potential gift of wealth to you, wealth of information. And if we can learn to stop looking at negative emotions as negative, and we can learn that there is so much wealth in understanding and working with the negative emotions, if you work with them, they can end up empowering you, expanding you, making you more emotionally mature, emotionally stable, confident, more confident, higher self-worth, and of course all of it is self-love at the end of the day. But there's no such thing as a negative emotion. Loss, grief, loss, disappointment, these are big, heavy energies that a lot of us tend to run away from. We don't want to feel disappointment. Disappointment can cripple you. It can very easily get you into a victim mindset, into the wounded energy. It can really very quickly trigger all kinds of old stories, old belief systems of I told you so coming up, or this always happens to me, and you're gonna lose faith in your journey, in your manifestation, in your process. So if we can switch this whole idea of loss and disappointment and maybe look at them in an empowering way, and again, I am not saying this in an avoidant way. I am not invalidating if you feel loss and disappointment. I am doing the opposite here, but I want to be very clear. I do not believe in emotional or spiritual bypassing at any level, and the bypassing that I see in our collective around emotional health makes me sick. Let me be very clear. This is the opposite of bypassing. This is going through a difficult negative emotion to get on the other side. The exact opposite of bypassing. I need to be very clear here. But if we can look at loss and disappointment, I want to start with loss for a minute here. If you feel loss and disappointment, first of all, I want to congratulate you because you're paying attention. If you recognize and are labeling within yourself that you are experiencing a sense of grief or loss or disappointment, congratulations. I thank you for being awake and aware and conscious enough to recognize what is happening inside of you. You are paying attention and you are actually being present. So thank you, first of all, for taking the first step of emotional maturity and healing your heart space and collectively healing the emotional wounds of our whole world here. Thank you. But if we're recognizing we're in that space, can we also recognize there's a flip side to this idea of loss? If you feel like you have lost something, you feel like something has left you, or you have to let something go and it makes you sad. If you hear noises behind me, it's just my cat. She's having a little snack. So if you hear weird noises, it's just my cat, a little Willow. If you're feeling the sense of loss, you're first of all paying attention, and then it's also showing you something that you value. I've talked about that in the realm of sadness, how your sadness is the key to happiness. I believe that's what I titled it. Your sadness is your key to happiness. Take that mindset here for a minute. I'm not done yet, but it's the same kind of a mindset shift here, where it's like, okay, if I feel lost around something, that also is telling me there's something here that I did value and that belongs in my energetic value systems. Something that I can pull out of this that is positive and is of value to me. And that is an energy I want to continue to align with as I move forward into my next whatever, okay? The second thing you can do when you're feeling lost is also recognize, let's shift the perspective into growth. Especially if something else is leaving you and you didn't consciously make the decision to remove something from your life, okay? Particularly in that, like for instance, if someone dumps you, let's just say it in that frame to be very clear. Someone dumps you, okay? Or maybe you got fired from your job or laid off or something. I don't know. What if we looked at it from a place of growth, of celebrating yourself and your growth, particularly if someone breaks up with you? And again, let me put this into the correct frame. I am speaking to people who are on a conscious personal development journey. I am speaking to people who are consciously making decisions to make themselves grow and expand, be more emotionally mature, be more stable, be more confident, be more healthy and healing in this world. If you are on that growth journey and someone breaks up with you, for example, can we see this as growth? I have been working on my journey and I have been so focused on my growth and showing up as the best possible person I can be. And I have been so focused on self-love and boundaries and really only investing in the things that I know are good for my development, that are aligned with where I'm going. So if someone chooses to leave my life, that is growth on my end. Look how far I have come from where maybe where the relationship started to where it is now. That I have grown so much that this person or maybe this situation, this thing, it literally vibrated out of my life. I am vibrating higher. I have improved myself, my awareness. I only invest my energy in spaces that are for the higher good of myself and therefore everyone else as well. I've gotten so clear in my boundaries and my sense of self and my identity and my self-worth and my self-love, and I am moving so carefully through this world that if someone chooses to leave me, I see that as growth. How can I look back and see all the instances, the stages of growth from the beginning of this situation or this relationship to now? Let's create some contrast here to see the growth, to see the journey, and find gratitude in all of the lessons you learned that brought you up to this moment where this thing left your life or you chose to walk away because you felt it was no longer aligned with you. Can you validate and see and cherish and love yourself for all of the steps and the stages, all of the pain you went through and worked through to get to where you are now, where now you're having this life shift, which is showing you, I have grown, I have changed, and that is to be celebrated. That is to be celebrated. Let's look at it this way. Disappointment is the other one. And I might make another video because I'm already taking a lot of time here. I might make another video on disappointment. Please let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to expand in the same way talking about disappointment. But can we for now just see maybe, what if disappointment is showing me I tried? I actually put an effort into making a difference here. I tried to shift this dynamic into a better, more healthy way, and it just didn't work out for whatever reason. These are really powerful shifts of what is absolutely necessary to stop bypassing and running away, avoiding, distracting, whatever, from these negative emotions and recognizing the wealth of information and power that is accessible inside of them. I'm going to leave this video here for today. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope this video helped. If you found value, please do subscribe, like, and drop me a comment. and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye for now.